Yeah, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, fam. Just gonna keep it a buck and not waste anyone's time. Joker Folie Deux is genuine booty cheeks. I would like 2 hours and 19 minutes of my life back, as well as the $11.98 I spent on my movie ticket. Good lord, talk about a drop off in quality. When this movie was first announced, my gut reaction was nothing short of concern for it even existing because, let's be honest, the Joker movie from 2019 did not need a sequel or a follow-up of any kind. I was a bit frustrated learning it would be getting a sequel. Despite some of the concerns with implementing musical elements and the possibility of it not living up to the first film, I still gave it a fair shot. Came in very open-minded. I didn't have super high expectations for Joker 2, I just expected a solid film. Well, goddamn, I couldn't even get that. Todd Phillips, what the hell were you cooking? To anyone who said Joker shouldn't have gotten a sequel, congratulations, y'all were right on the money. This movie does not justify its existence in any way, shape, or form. All it does is just diminish the significance of its predecessor. It feels like there was no point to any aspect of the film. It offers nothing of value. So many things are added in that add absolutely nothing to the overall plot. Cut some of those scenes from the final product entirely and it changes nothing on how the story unfolds. I will be spoiling the entire movie, by the way. I'd prefer to rip the movie in two by going into a bit more detail on what actually happens, so yeah, there's your warning, I guess. I'm gonna preface this by saying that I am not a fan of musicals. Not that I dislike them, I just haven't really been exposed to them, nor do I care for them. However, I was willing to give this movie the benefit of the doubt going in, as long as the musical dance numbers or whatever weren't just added in for no reason and they didn't overstay their welcome. About halfway in and I was already over the constant singing. It's not in every scene of the movie, but I don't understand the point of even adding musical elements to begin with. They serve no significance to the story. They don't really convey some grand message or emotion that we didn't already know through dialogue. The scenes just drag the movie. One of the few I actually liked off the top of my head was the one in the courtroom scene during Arthur Fleck's trial. Speaking of Arthur Fleck, the movie single-handedly regresses his character that was established in the first Joker movie, and essentially undoes the buildup of his persona as the Joker. They try to imply that Joker is an alternate personality of Arthur's psyche on some dissociative identity disorder type beat, which is dumb because we've seen the first movie and we know that's not the case. Arthur doesn't really change, evolve, or do anything of significance throughout the course of the narrative. The movie starts with him at Arkham, and it ends with him at Arkham dying at the hands of someone else, which I will cover in a little bit with that egregious ending. For the first hour or so, you let the movie do its thing to see what it's building up to, getting that satisfaction with Arthur no longer taking any nonsense during his trial and truly embracing the Joker persona, going as far as firing his own lawyer and representing himself in court. You see his inner confidence emerge, mainly due to his encounters with Harley Quinn, or Lee as they call her. Harleen Quinzel was so infatuated with the Joker, she willingly committed herself to Arkham Asylum just so she can be around him. She wants Arthur out so they can wreak havoc as a power couple, I guess. But then near the last act of the movie, when Arthur is at his third or fourth day in the court trial, he out of nowhere has a change of heart and is all like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I regret all my past actions. I'm not the Joker, I'm just Arthur Fleck. Harley gets mad at him, he's found guilty of all his crimes, and ends up right back at Arkham.
That is totally retarded.
What frustrated me most about the courtroom scenes is how much they served as pseudo recaps of what Joker did in the first movie. If you've seen it, then it just reads off as useless dialogue, just reiterating what we already know. Like I said earlier, there's so much useless nonsense that doesn't really progress the movie all that much. Harvey Dent's in the movie as the assistant DA, to which his entire role boils down to someone against Arthur Fleck being seen as mentally ill and should not get some pat on the back for his crimes. Arthur's lawyer initially wanted to push the narrative that he suffers from identity disorder to soften the penalties of his actions. Harvey aids in representing the state in the court trial to have Arthur face the death penalty. I'm not even sure why they used Harvey Dent. You could have used any random government official and it changes nothing. Not a single notable thing about Harvey Dent is present in this portrayal other than him being a DA in Gotham. If they never said his name, I would have never known this was supposed to be Harvey Dent. He's just some random guy. After Arthur goes on this whole speech about how he's not the Joker anymore, a freaking bomb goes off at the courthouse, which was set off by a couple of Joker's supporters so that they could help him escape. Came out of absolutely nowhere. Not only was there zero build up to that moment, moment, it comes out of left field when compared to the scenery and tone of the rest of the movie. Bombing the courthouse was a pointless scene because Arthur just runs away from the guys that tried to help him, goes after Harley, to which she wants nothing to do with him, gets caught by the police, and ends up at Arkham again. He was already found guilty of all his charges by the end of the trial, so he would be at Arkham Asylum regardless. You remove the bombing from the script and literally nothing changes. There's also this insignificant detail of Harley being pregnant with Arthur's kid. No, I'm not joking. I wish I was. They get freaky once in a cell at Arkham, then next thing you know, Harley's talking to him like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, which they do nothing with, by the way. Near the end of the movie, when Harley brings it up, I went, oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's like Todd Phillips forgot he wrote that into the script. Easily the worst part of the entire film is the ending. Oh my god, the ending is atrocious. It's abysmal. One of the worst endings I've ever seen. Thankfully, I never knew any spoilers before watching the movie in theaters, but I heard about the ending getting leaked online and people's reactions to it, saying how bad the ending was. I never gave it any attention because surely the ending to the Joker sequel wouldn't be as bad as people are saying, right? Surely the ending won't read off as someone desperately trying to subvert expectations and simply do it for shock value, right?
Damn. He don't got a clue in the fucking world.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's really bad. Basically, after everything happens, Arthur's back in Arkham. Harley just leaves, I guess, and Arthur is facing the death penalty. One of Arthur's fellow Arkham inmates, who was a massive supporter of his Joker shenanigans, approaches Arthur as he's heading out in one of the hallways at Arkham. And this fellow inmate, whom we met only a couple of times, I think, throughout the course of the film, expresses his disappointment and anger in Arthur renouncing his Joker title, to which he then shanks him repeatedly in the hallway and Arthur Fleck dies. The last shot of the entire movie before the credits start rolling is Arthur lying on the floor, eyes open, as the guy who stabbed him in the blurred background carves a smile on his face with the knife he used to kill Arthur.
What in the actual fuck?
Y'all really thought you cooked with this ending, huh? Hell nah, that was horrendous. I could feel the energy with the few people who were in my theater. I don't think anybody was satisfied with that ending. There are positives pertaining to the visual aesthetic. It was shot really well, had good use of color grading and cinematography, good sound design, and just overall decent visual directing. The actual writing of the movie though? Ass! There's a huge middle chunk of the movie that's just kind of boring. All they do is just flip-flop on if Joker and Arthur are one of the same or if they're split personalities. On the bright side, Todd Phillips said he's done with DC and the Joker sequel would be his last outing, as he felt his time at DC was the two Joker movies, so thank God for that. No chance at yet another Joker Elseworlds movie? Say less. The sequel shouldn't have been made to begin with. The singing just gets repetitive and exhausting at times, and the movie is just a mess. I'm honestly good with not having any out-of-pocket, bonkers Elseworlds movies from DC for a while. I think I'll just stick with Matt Reeves' Batman and the DCU. James Gunn, I'm begging you, please cook with the Superman movie. There hasn't been a well-received theatrical DC film since Matt Reeves' The Batman in 2022. We are out here in the trenches. Can DC make some good live-action movies consistently? Like, damn.
I fucking hate it here, bro.